Hello, hello. Good night, everyone. So good to see y'all this evening. I hope that you've had an amazing week. Let me make sure that I have the comments pulled up. Good night, good night. So excited to be with you all tonight. Um, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a little snatchy. So if you are new here and you are not a fan of sometimes heavy lives, this might not be the live for you. We're going to go a little bit deep, not too deep, but a little bit deep. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Yaya Smith. Tonight, I want to talk to you about how your stories can hold back your progress in different areas of your life. So, before we get started, quick introduction. Again, I'm Yaya. I go by Yaya. I'm a mom of four. I am a wife. I am a life coach, obviously. I am also a woman who is on the journey of womanhood. And my goal is to help other women make that journey easier, help women to integrate the things that we actually want into our lives so that we can live more fulfilled lives. I've helped hundreds of women all over the world personally in getting this and in making this fulfillment happen in their life by tapping into their feminine power, by tapping into their God given gifts, their God given design, and helping them to balance. I think that when we talk about femininity, a lot of the conversation is around get rid of your masculine side. Don't act masculine, don't talk masculine, don't do any of these things. But really, we all have a masculine and a feminine side. And the problem is not your masculine side. The problem is that you have never been taught how to fully stand in your feminine power as well. And so when we need power, when we need to make moves in the world, we feel like we have to lean on that masculine side. But if you are here, more than likely you're ready to learn to lean into your feminine side, to leverage your femininity, not just as dressing cute, because femininity has nothing to do with how you dress, nothing to do with whether or not you like pink, whether you wear makeup, whether you wear jewelry, get your nails done, none of that. While those things are wonderful and they make a great uniform, femininity is not a uniform. I always say femininity is not a box for you to try to fit yourself into. It is a blueprint to build and design your best life. So, I help you to do that from the inside out. If you stick around long enough, you will definitely want to tap into your feminine side more because we speak of it as a power here, not a weakness. So today I want to talk about, excuse me, y'all, how your stories can hold you back from experiencing the progress that you desire. Hey, hey, whoever that is, I can't see your name. If you want me, hold on one second, let me take this banner down. If you want me to be able to see who you are commenting, make sure to give StreamYard permission. All right. So, how are those stories holding you back? One of the things that I talk about in the Feminine Success Masterclass on day one is how to get to the bottom of the stories that you've been repeating throughout your life and how to rewrite those stories, how to retell those stories. Because a lot of our fear of softness, fear of femininity is really based on a story that we're telling. It could be based on your support story, your parent story, your upbringing, your man story, your money story. Several different reasons why softness can feel like weakness, depending on people asking for help, being vulnerable, why those things would be considered a weakness. However, always is rooted in a story. And the important thing to ask yourself is, are these stories that I want to continue to live out? Are these stories that I want to continue to tell? Is this today how my life still is? Okay. I remember personally, I had a terrible upbringing story, parent child story. And as I got grown and got into older, serious relationships, I kept retelling that story over and over again. I kept retelling the story in my mind. I would retell the story in my relationships. And what happened was that my relationships began to mirror the story that I was telling, even though it was a parent child story. And so that's why getting to the bottom of your story is so important, because you could be super successful and have an area in your life where you're just like, but why can't I have this kind of success there? It could be you're successful in your career, you're not seeing the same success in your relationships. You may be successful in your home life and with your children, but you're not seeing that same success with your spouse or in your business. Where in your life are you finding yourself stuck, and what story are you telling? What story are you telling there? And understand this, stuck does not always feel like not moving. Stuck could feel like going in the same circles over and over again, year after year. Every year is the same year. Every day is the same day. And the results that you're looking for are not showing up in the way that you want them to. So I want to talk about a couple stories that I've seen personally hold women back. The first is the support story. Raise your hand if you have ever heard someone say, it is so hard to find good help. If you want it done right, you might as well do it yourself. Um, all the stories around support, all the stories around not being able to be well supported, right? That support story, even when you have found great help, even when you have found the support that you're looking for, has you in a mind to figure out what's wrong, to micromanage or overmanage, or even to not ask for help at all, to not be vulnerable at all. So consider that. What is your support story? Here at Feminine Success, we're all about helping women be well supported, well loved, well paid, and live well. And so knowing how to get the support you need is critical to living a well supported life. So support story is the first one. Your man story. What is your man story? What is your relationship story looking like? This isn't always a toxic or, y'all know, like a negative man story. Many times it is women who say, oh, he's just being a man. Oh, boys will be boys. That's a story. That's a story that we tell that can keep us stuck in a loop of, I don't want to say negative behavior from men, because sometimes that is the case, but normally the women in my community don't have negative experiences with men. They just don't have satisfying experiences with men. So it can get you in this loop of excusing the unsatisfactory because men will be men, boys will be boys. Or I used to talk about this all the time. So if you've been following me since Periscope, you've heard me say this before. And if you watch my Insta lives, you've heard me say this before. Some women, and I was given this story as well as a young woman, have the story of, you can't depend on a man. You cannot depend on a man. You can't depend on a man for anything. Have your own everything. And I am 100% here for having your own, just in general, for all adults, not women, not men, but adults in general. However, if you're telling the story that men in your world cannot be depended upon, you can't depend on men, you have to be strong and independent, then what do you think you will continue to attract? People who are not dependable. And so It's so important because sometimes we think, and usually this is how it starts. We think I tell the story because this is the truth, right? This is the truth that I've experienced. That's why I'm telling this story. But that was one truth one time. Can you hold space for it to look different the next time? And that is why your story is so valuable, so important, and important for you to get very clear on writing the story that you want to live. Because when you hold on to a negative story, that part of your life, whether it's the male female relationships, whether it's your support story, it's your money story, it's your family story, that part of your life stays stuck where that story happened. We get all into the inner child in the masterclass. If you have not signed up for the masterclass, I don't even know what you're waiting on. We are 3 days away. 3 days away. And there is no late registration. There's the website right there, box2blueprint.com. We just talked about femininity is not a box, it is a blueprint. So your life, your relationships, think about if you are the woman. Now, I'm not saying this is you, but you might need to share this with someone who this is. You're the woman who every relationship is like the same guy, but a different face. And you're dealing with the same situations again and again. And so we fall into the story of all men are the same, right? But really what's going on is because that's the story that you are still holding on to, your relationship life is just building around that moment. The moment where whatever that story is that you're holding happened, your relationships are still stuck back there. And anytime anything comes up in the relationship, your mind goes right back there. Same goes for your money story. Same goes for your support story. And so if you want these areas of your life to move forward, it's time to learn how to release that story and rewrite a story that is more fitting for you, that's more fitting for your goals, that's more fitting for where you are going. The truth is, you can always change your story. You can always change your story. I remember, and this is the thing, you can't change the truth. You can't change what happened, but you can change how you talk about what happens. You can change how you feel about it, what you gain from it, how you interpret what's going on with you, and then how you repeat it. Okay, so very important to be aware of. Like I said, I had a very difficult parent-child story, specifically with my mother. Because of that, all of my relationships started to mirror that because I was telling that story over and over and over again. When I was ready to rewrite that story, I had to look at what did I gain from that experience? What were the golden nuggets of that experience? And can I now rewrite my story, not my mama's story, not my childhood, not rewriting that, but can I rewrite the story so that it benefits me? Can you rewrite your story so that it benefits and supports you? This is not about denying the truth. This is not about being looking at your life through rose-colored glasses or ignoring what really happened. But this is about realizing that no one else, and it sucks to say, but it's the truth. No one else who experienced the story that we tell again and again is still living in it, but us. Everyone else has moved on. Life has continued to grow and flourish, or not, for others. So reclaim your power to write the story that you want to live. My mom always told me, and as much as can be said about my mother, I love her so much. She is so full of wisdom. she always said, forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. And that really stuck with me because for a long time, I felt like if I stopped telling the story, then this person basically just got away with it, or this job just got away with it, or whatever have you. But that's really not the truth because they got away anyway. Life moved on anyways. And so it's up to us to decide that what I desire is more of a priority to me than where I've come from. Where you are going is more important than where you've been. When where you've been is not building you towards where you're going. When holding on to where you've been is holding you back from where you're going. Okay, so the goal is to release so that you can make room for a new story. Release so that you can make room for a new story. So, y'all are real quiet today. Y'all are real quiet. Are y'all there? Comment and let me know. Comment and let me know. So think about your support story. Think about your man story. Think about your money story. Is your money story around not having enough or not being able to manage what you have? Or even, this is a very common money story in my community that we have had to work through. Being the ATM. Being the ATM for people in your life, people in your family, being that successful person and feeling like success is a burden. So what is your money story and how is it holding you? When we talk about the inner child, we talk about the moments of deep trauma, often the moments that hurt us so bad. Just in clear layman's terms, these moments hurt us so bad that within we say to ourselves, I'm never going through that again. I'm never going to be hurt that way again. And so anything that comes up in your life that looks similar to it, you hold yourself back from it or you try to avoid it. I see this with women who have been the ATM for their family, have been the person who you get a little bit of success. Now suddenly everybody thinks that you are so on and you can take care of everything and everybody and change the world. And so many times these women hold themselves back from being even more successful because the story that's playing in their mind is the more successful I get, the more people will want from me. Okay, so consider, hey Valerie, thank you for popping on today. Hold on, because I know everybody can't see that. Valerie says, hey, yeah, just popped in, always dropping wisdom. This is so good. For sure. I'm so glad that you are here and enjoying tonight's live. Another story is a time story. What's your time story? Is it always, I'm waiting for the right time? I don't want to make the wrong move. I don't want to move too fast. Things are not happening fast enough. What is your time story? And how is that time story holding you back? Because a time story is a real doozy. Many people's time story either has them rushing or waiting forever. Rushing, missing steps. Rushing, not getting it right the first time. Rushing, missing opportunities because you're moving too fast. Or not doing anything at all. Just sitting and waiting and going so slowly that you also miss those opportunities. So really ask yourself, what are the stories that I'm telling in my life? Where do I feel that things are not changing? Things are not growing. Some folks are telling an energy story. The story that when you hit 30, suddenly you have no more energy. Suddenly you have no more energy. I understand. I'm past 30 now. But there is this idea that the older you get, the less energized you become. But what if that's not the story that you want to live? The older you get, the more difficult it is to be in your body. What if that's not the story that you want to live? What if you want to live the story of the older I get, the better I get? Because I see a lot of folks out here in their 70s doing the dang thing, especially health wise. But they had to start telling a new story and disconnect many times from the collective story. So I hope this is helping and supporting you all in really taking a moment to look and say, what is the story that I've been telling again and again? And one of the things that helps me is let's say, the dependable man story, right? Men are not dependable. You can't find good men, and all the good men are gone, and all the stories that many times are collective stories that are being told again and again. What helps me, whether it's a man story, a money story, time story, energy story, support story, is to look around and say, does anyone have it? Does anyone have it? Are there people who have amazing, dependable husbands? Okay, so I can have that too. Are there people who have time freedom? I can have that too. Are there people who have great timing and they're always on time? It just seems like when you need it, they're there. Or my husband is one of these people. His timing is just impeccable. I can tell this man walks with God because his timing is always on point. But if you can look around and see that there are people who are well supported, there are women who are well loved, there are women who look like you who are well paid, guess what? You can have it too. That can be your story too. Not saying that you need to envy anyone and want what they have, but it's very important to know that it's available to you. It's available to you. Another story is available to you. So if you are about this rewriting your story life, or even not rewriting it, adding to it, adding more layers to your story, adding more love to your story, adding more time, more energy, adding more benefits, adding being well paid to your story, adding being well supported to your story, then of course you know what I'm about to say. Sign up for the Feminine Success Masterclass. It is 3 days away, and I'm going to give you guys a quick breakdown of what the masterclass actually is. So it is a 5-day live coaching experience. This is the last time. Yes, if I can see what I need, it's available to me too. I love that. This is the last time that I will be coaching this masterclass live in this way. Okay, so going forward, you can still purchase the masterclass, but you will not be able to get it like this, where I coach you every night of the masterclass. I coach you on what you've learned that day. I give you specific strategic support in a group format around implementing what you're learning into your life every day of the masterclass. Y'all, let me just let you know, you might cry. Okay, you might cry a little bit. Usually the first day of the masterclass is so revealing, and it opens so much up to you. It opens your eyes to so much that you're like in joyful tears. So the first day of the masterclass, we talk about mastering your feminine mindset. Now that's the surface level title, but underneath the hood, we go into reparenting your inner girl, getting in touch with your inner girl, rebuilding trust within yourself, trusting your own decisions, and rewriting your story. Understanding what your story is, rewriting it, getting clear on your personal mission, your personal values. The second day of the masterclass, we go into your environment. So what you'll notice about Feminine Success is that we take a full scale, well, integrative approach to coaching. I am a person who believes that everything is connected. Your environment affects you, your work affects you, your relationships affect you. And so in the masterclass, we go into all three of those. The second day, we talk about your environment and really bringing peace and harmony into your home space. This is great if you are married, if you have children, if you are single, and desire to live with other people at some point in your life. This is great if you have roommates, because what we talk about is how to get everyone in the home on the same page. Now, with the masterclass, you get a 100+ page workbook. In this workbook, and we walk through the workbook so you're not doing it yourself. In this workbook, in part 2, we have you and the people in your home, or the people in your life even, sit together and come together and understand what the mission is for the household, what the mission is for the family and for your life. If you're single and you live alone, this will still be supportive for you, because I show you how to build a support system so that you're not just doing life by yourself, even as a single person. On the third day, we talk about your work culture, your personal work culture, how you work, how you want to work, what you want that to look like. I told you it's about being well paid as well. So we talk about personal branding, how building the brand of you starts with your relationship with yourself, but you see it in your home, you see it in your work, you see it in how you show up, whether that's on your job, whether that's for your gifts and your skills and your talents. So we go into that. On the fourth day of the masterclass, we talk about my favorite topic in the world, relationships. Relationships, men and women, but also relationships with family, and understanding how to implement the ABCs: accountability, boundaries, and connection in all of your relationships. And then on day 5, we bring it all together and we talk about sustaining your soft power. We talk about you not traveling this road alone, and really leveraging the community around you, the investments that you've made in yourself, and how you can use that to get rid of the feeling of being unsupported, get rid of the feeling of being not paid enough, not loved enough. Overall, my goal is to change the collective story of Black women. Simply put, the story that we are unloved, we are unsupported, we are not paid, all those stories are just stories. And we have the power within us to change them. So what I give you in the masterclass are very practical ways to do that, step by step, in each of these 4 areas of your life. So that's the Feminine Success Masterclass. I look forward to seeing some of you in the masterclass. I see some of you are already going and saving your spots. We are 3 days away, so make sure that you grab your seat. Other than that, that's the whole masterclass. You also get some really great bonuses. There are over $3,000 of just bonus courses that literally the girls are going crazy over, okay? The Feminine Reset is the first one, where you reset mind, body, and spirit and learn to tap into your femininity in a deeper way. The Create Your Premium Product in 7 days or less. I have a client here tonight. I'm not going to name any names, but she used that formula and created a product and made $20,000 in 30 days. If I'm not mistaken, it was $20K. I think it might have been a little more than that. But 7 days to create a product, because I don't believe in anything being difficult. I know that life has enough challenges of its own. So you can create ease in your life. You can create ease within yourself. You can create ease in the way that you work. And I'm here to show you that. And then you also get Income and Intimacy. Income and Intimacy is a workshop that I did recently for a group of very successful women, very powerful women. And we talked about the parallels there between your relationships and your relationship with money. We talked about bringing that connection in, a connection with your work, but also that connection in your world. Because so many of us who have created career success have done so at the expense of relationship success. And so I'm here to help you rewind that tape and play and tape something else over it. I'm aging myself. I'm aging myself by saying that. But that's what I'm here to help you do. Rewind the tape and record something else over it. We don't even have to do all that anymore, y'all. Can you believe how far technology has taken us in such a short time? But that is the Feminine Success Masterclass. Again, you get 5 days of incredible coaching. Even if it were not my masterclass, I would still be saying that because it really is good. Right now, the masterclass is $9.97. The price will double, and more than likely, it will triple by the end of this year. So get it now is what I will say. Get in now, get into the feminine success community now so that you can take full advantage of what is available. If you've been saying, this is my year, I'm going to invest in myself now, this is the time for me to grow and flourish in a new way. You've been hearing people talk about femininity. You've been hearing women talk about how much easier life becomes, how much easier relationships become, how their income has changed, and you want to know that for yourself. Join the Feminine Success Masterclass. You can go to this link, and before you press the buy button, read the testimonials. Read what other women are saying about the masterclass, about the results that they've gotten, so that you see for sure that this is something that is right for you. And if by chance you realize that it is not, after you join, we do have a 14-day money back guarantee. So no problems there. It is completely risk-free for you to step up and show up and invest in yourself in a brand new way. So for those of you who I will see in the masterclass, hey, super excited to support you. And those of you who I won't, I know I'll see you down the line sometimes, somewhere down the line. Because once you know that there is a key to life that will unlock the doors that have been closing, that have been locked for you, that just have felt like, why can't I get over this hump? Once you realize that there is something within you that can unlock those things, naturally you want to cultivate it. Naturally, you want to figure out how to sharpen that tool. So when you're ready, I am here. And for those of you who are ready now, I am super excited to get started with you on Sunday. Masterclass starts Sunday. So with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your night. Make sure I haven't missed any comments. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I will talk to y'all soon. Make sure that you share this video if you know someone who needed this message. Peace, y'all.